Take a look with me outside. This is going to be looking over the Arkansas River, looking off towards the southeast from Ozark over towards Paris. Notice this, the river is glistening. It's that moon out there, not full technically tonight. Tomorrow night is when it's a full moon. A beautiful sight out there. It might look a little orangish, a little red. That's some of that smoke that's still up in the atmosphere. Tomorrow night's full moon is known as the Sturgeon moon. Most people notice that it corresponded with the time of the year that the most sturgeon was caught. Technically a full moon, 2:55 a.m. Saturday morning. It'll likely still look a little bit orange, maybe reddish, just given the fact that we have more of that smoke moving into the area. Map hasn't changed a lot over the last couple of times I've showed it to you. You'll notice that ridge of high pressure just continues churning those winds out of the northwest towards the southeast. And as long as that continues to be the case, and as long as those fires rage, that smoke's going to keep drifting our direction. Now, for most of us, it's not much of a concern from a respiratory or an air quality issue. Most of that smoke stays in the higher levels of the atmosphere. It's enough to make it look a little milky out there, which is some good news. Thankfully, it's not going to translate to the surface where you and I are breathing some clean air down here. Talking about clean air, it's going to be muggy, thick air tomorrow. 100 likely Van Buren, Ozark, Fort Smith, Poteau. Paris may reach 101 tomorrow afternoon. My new forecast calls for 101. Likely going to reach mid to upper 90s across northwest Arkansas. All those southerly winds, which are going to be breezy tomorrow, ushering in a lot of humidity. Going to drive our heat index values up to places in Fort Smith, Places such as Fort Smith around 109, 111 Paris, 103 Fayetteville. It's going to be hot out there. It doesn't get much better by 5 o'clock. So as you're heading home from work tomorrow evening, it's going to be a scorcher out there. Heat alerts are in effect for all of the River Valley. I suspect we're going to have more of these. When you wake up tomorrow morning with meteorologist Danny Cassidy, I suspect parts of northwest Arkansas may be added. Also wouldn't be surprised if parts of the River Valley upgraded to that extreme heat warning. It's a real possibility. Either way, orange, pink, warning, advisory, just take care of yourself out there. It'll be a little bit more tolerable only because we're going to have some winds gusting 10 to 25 miles or so. It's going to be a hot air, but at least it's not a still air, right? Here's the ridge of high pressure, the big old heat dome. Good news is, well, yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be really, really hot tomorrow as a result of that being a little bit closer to us. When we look over the next several days, it's slowly, not quick enough, it's slowly retrograding back off towards the west. And you'll notice by early next week, let's say, Tuesday or so, it's a little further towards the west, and there's a little subtle dip in the atmosphere. That little trough of low pressure is going to allow our temperatures to cool down ever so slightly. Now, make no mistake about it, it's still going to be hot out there next week, but instead of the mid to upper 90s that I'm tracking for the next 3 days, we get that trough of low pressure to allow us to cool down into the low 90s. Chance of rain, it's low. Wouldn't get your hopes up. Certainly wouldn't hold my breath, but 20 to at times 30% chance of some of those showers first several days of next week. It wouldn't amount to much at all, even if we're lucky enough to find ourselves under one of those pop-up showers. But that, a little bit of cloud cover keeps those temperatures slightly cooler. Hate to even say cooler because, I mean, goodness gracious, mid-90s, that's still pretty hot for most folks. 100 tomorrow, close to 100 Saturday, not far from it by Sunday, and that slow dip down into the low to mid-90s. That's probably going to hang around for the next several days. Dog days of summer technically continue slugging along.
That is an ugly 10-day right there.
I know. I don't take any offense from that because I agree. Look, I was like, man, I got to find these folks a cold front.
Yeah, it's not going to be for a while.
Yeah, ain't one out there.
All right.
Short supply.
Scott, thanks.